Hi everyone, welcome back. This is April. I'm April. This is Plan with April. This is my Hobonichi cousin avec. The cover is actually turquoise. I just covered it with paper because I kind of like giving it its own vibe. If you haven't been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. First, I have to show you, I know. So, hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I got on AliExpress, I don't know, probably the same week that I said I wasn't going to spend any money anymore. So I had like this huge, like, oh my gosh, panic. Hurry up and buy something before you can't buy something. It's truly how I operate. So I've seen these on Amazon and they're like $12 to $21 a pack. And I'm like, I don't want to spend that much money on a sticker book because I really am trying to live within a budget. And so I went on to AliExpress and they had these and they were under $5. So I got 2 of them. So I was going to open them and show you guys. If you've never shopped on AliExpress, they do have a lot of really good discount stationery stuff. I've never been disappointed with anything that I've purchased there, but it does take a very long time for it to get to you. So like I said, I probably ordered these when I was having my no spend for the rest of my life breakdown, which I don't know why I do that, but I do, but whatever. So these are, they're just sticker books. Like every page has so many stickers on them. I'll just flip through really quick and show you. But I thought these would be a lot of fun to use on my dailies, because I'm really, really struggling and have always struggled to do anything with my daily pages. So as you can see, as I'm flipping through this one, this is like I would say 60s, 1940s, early 1900s. To think that I was born in the 1900s is now a little ridiculous. But they've got all sorts of different themes, and I really, really liked this. I also really liked the colors. I liked all the different stickers as I was looking through them on AliExpress. I think there were like 8 different sticker books to choose from, and I did 2 total. You can see they've got different colors. I love the florals. The florals is probably what turned me onto it the most, and then the rest of it is just like bonus. So they're all stickers. They all peel up. There are some that are opaque. There are others that are not opaque. The only caveat with this is they are not kiss cut. So if you want to use this whole sheet of paper, you just tear it out and use it. If you only want the squad, you have to fussy cut it. So just be aware of that. And then this one I got because of all of the different characters, like the people characters and the colors, because it goes through a rainbow of colors. And I thought, how beautiful are these? So I'm really excited to use these, super excited. And then this morning I was making apple butter. I don't know if you guys have ever made apple butter before. I hadn't even heard of apple butter before I heard of Wes, before I met Wes, I didn't hear of him before I met him either. Loving the yellow. Anyway, he had mentioned that his mom made apple butter and his grandma made apple butter and all these amazing women in his life make apple butter. And I'm like, oh, well, I can make apple butter. Just go get me some apples from the orchards. We have probably 30 different apple trees out by our house. So he did. He went out yesterday, and when I got home, there was a huge like tub in the sink of apples. So this morning I got up and I'm like, okay, I'm going to start making some apples. Or making some apple butter. So I get the crock pot out, because of course I'm not going to do it like the original way of like cooking it on the stove and stirring it for 17 hours, because I don't have that kind of time. I am not that dedicated. So I'm getting them ready and I'm cutting them apart, all those wonderful, wonderful things. And I've cored them, and I've like used my apple core, that cuts it into slices, and I'm just tossing them into the crock pot as I'm going, right? So I get probably I don't know, 15 apples down, 15 apples done. And so I turn on a YouTube video to tell me how to make them, right? How do you make this apple butter stuff? Wes loves it, swears by it. I've never tasted it. I've never had it. I've seen it like when we've gone out to breakfast and stuff. I've seen it in the options for like jellies and jams. They'll have the apple butter, but I've never tried it. So here I am tossing everything into the crock pot, turn on the YouTube video that I find of this amazing Southern woman who says, you know, today we're making apple butter, get out your crock pots, here's how it's done. And I'm like, okay, cool, here we go. So the first thing she says is, you know, make sure you wash and rinse your apples. Check, check, totally did that. She said, and then peel and core them. And I immediately look up at Wes and I'm like, wait a minute, I have to peel the apples? He's like, for apple butter? And I said, yeah. He goes, yeah, you have to peel them. Why wouldn't you peel them? I'm like, that's where all the vitamins are? I don't know. He's like, no, you have to peel the apples for apple butter. I said, do you have to peel them for like apple pie? And he goes, yeah. Like, wait a minute, you can't leave the skins on? He goes, no. I said, but don't you use an emulsifying blender to make the apple butter? He goes, I don't know. My grandma didn't use an emulsion blender. I'm like, well, of course she didn't, because, you know, we didn't have those then. So I get a tiny bit discouraged because I'm like, oh my gosh, now I'm going to have to go back with all these little apple slices and peel off the peel, right? Well, good thing your girl grew up in Idaho and has, you know, lots of peel and potato experience, because that didn't really take me all that long to peel all of them and then start back in on the last half of the batch, making sure that those were peeled nice and cored. So then as I'm doing that, I'm like, wait a minute, can't I make apple cider vinegar out of the skins and cores and stuff? Like, I don't want to waste these skins of these apples. So Google that, get on YouTube, watch a little tutorial on that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can totally do that while I'm waiting for the apples to render for the apple butter, right? So throw those in my huge Rae Dunn pot on the stove, add some water to that. And I'm going to do, not only am I going to do apple cider vinegar with some of these skins, but I thought I would also, the ones that are on the stove are not for the apple cider vinegar. I guess you do those raw with just sugar. Anyway, so the ones that are on my stove are two purpose. First purpose, they smell amazing right now. My house smells like fall just erupted in my kitchen and just spread throughout the entire house. So that is amazing. So what is on the stove is like 2/3, I would say 2/3 of the peels, rinds, seeds, stems, all of the stuff that I didn't use for the apple butter. Threw in about 8 cups of water, maybe 12 cups of water. Put some cinnamon and clove in there. I'm just going to boil that for a few hours, let the house smell amazing. And then when it's done, I'm going to, you know, filter out all of the like stems and stuff. And I'm going to reduce it and make a simple syrup for my fall old fashions. And old fashions is a drink with whiskey and all sorts of yummy, yummy flavors in it. But I thought that would be really, really good. Just to, you know, reduce it and make it into a nice, simple syrup. So you saw me fussy cut that. There is a lot of fussy cutting when it comes to, you know, cutting these out. But I think the look is going to be really worth it because I think it's going to look really cool. Last week's meal plan kind of went to crap because we both got COVID over last weekend. I did make the taco soup, which was hilarious because you guys know I do not like spicy foods at all. And I must have not put enough liquid in the crock pot with the soup mix, the taco mix, because when we went to eat it, I didn't have my sense of taste or smell that day. And so I couldn't taste it at all. And Wes said it was like super spicy, and I'm like, well, I can't taste the spice. Like it's not bothering me at all. So it didn't bother me at first. Tell ya, it eventually did. Oh my gosh, I don't know how people eat spicy foods. I smelled it once I got my sense of taste and smell back. I won't eat it because it smelled hot. Like it smelled spicy. Not even kidding. I had to laugh because I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I even did that. Like, holy cow. All right, so that one is all I want from there, but I am going to pull some off of this page as well. Have you guys made, like, do you can, and if you can, do you water bath can, pressure cooker can, or both? I bought a pressure cooker last year and then I got scared and I didn't ever use it. I was watching videos on like how to do it and safety precautions, and I'm like, you know what, this is a little more than I want to commit to at this point. Like I don't really want to blow the house up, you know. And the more I talk to people who've done it forever, they're like, no, it's not going to blow your house up. Just make sure that you keep an eye on your pressure gauge, and you know, you don't want to just set it on your stove and walk away and forget about it. You have to like be there to watch it and take care of it, make sure that it doesn't, you know, go below or above a certain temperature for the pressure. No, certain pressure. I don't know. Yeah, so I haven't gone back and done anything with them yet. I do water bath quite a bit. And I did, this YouTuber that I was watching said that you could water bath the apple butter. Which I don't know how, because I don't think apples are that acidic, and then you add all that sugar to them. I was almost like, are you sure you can water bathe them? I'm not sure of that, because even when I do tomatoes, I add a little bit of lemon juice to them just to make sure my acidity is where it needs to be. So I think I'm going to start with that for now. And then remember, the trick to taking up lots of space is what? Layering. Layer. So let me grab a couple of pieces of paper up here. I've got some off-white paper, which I think is going to work best for this project. Oh, you know what? I also have this paper here. Tear out one of these. Now, you guys have seen this when I did my meal planning, so I just tore that off. And I am just going to, do I want to rip it? Probably not. I was going to rip it, and then I'm like, do I want to rip it? Probably not. Do I care if it's like the straightest cut ever? No. No, because this is like scrapbooking. Like, I don't need it to be perfectly straight at all. And I am just going to build as I go. So, scooch these guys over. I am low on my tape, so you are going to see that I am not going to be using a whole bunch. Super duper cute. And then I'm just going to go in here. I don't know that I want this whole thing. I don't even know that I want this on this page. So let's give it a second. I am going to pop this down here. So again, they are fussy cut. You can use the whole page if you wanted to. I support that. Especially if you had a whole page that you were like, you know what, I'm not going to do a whole lot of journaling today. Or you were thinking, I am going to do journaling, but I want this as the background, and then I'm going to just pop over some vellum, and maybe I will show you how to do that on this page here. Just pop down some vellum. We'll pick out our favorite sticker page, and then we'll put it up over that. Definitely want her. And just these few stickers really made a huge difference on this page, wouldn't you say? I mean, it just kind of brought it to life. And then I can go in and, you know, put in the things that I need to get done for the day. I've got some sayings in there that I've written, or that I've put in with the stickers, and everything. Everything is just kind of put in there. That took us, what, 10 minutes? Probably not even 10 minutes. I'm horrible today on like telling time. And then I can either put some washi tape up here, which would probably look really, really cute. Let me grab my washi tape. I'm gonna grab a grayish green. Pop some of this down. This is not going to be an exact science because we are making apple butter. I've also got to cut some apples up to make an apple pie. And since now I realize I need to also peel those apples, I can't spend all day long in my creative studio, darn it. I know, I was a little bummed out about that too when I realized I was going to have to peel those apples, but it's all good. It's fine. All right, let's do this. I'm going to go back into, where did I throw that? Oh, let's go in and grab, I'm going to grab one of the yellow pages because I really, really liked, well, maybe not. Let's look. What are these ones? I'm trying to think which ones are going to be better just for a full page. And I can totally do one of the yellows. They were my favorite when I was originally flipping through these. Oh, I wonder if there's an apple one. Gosh, could you imagine? How simply perfect would that be if there was an apple one? Let's look. If not, the red flowers are sure pretty. I really like the yellow too. All right, let's go back here where the food, I saw food. Let's see if there's peaches. Those are pretty. There's some apples on this one. I did a little ASMR tap. I don't know. I really like this yellow. I'm going to do yellow. We're going to do the yellow. And this is going to fit on the page freaking beautifully. Who would have thought? I am just going to trim a tiny bit off the top and a tiny bit off of the bottom just to be sure we are not going to have any kind of problem lining that up. Okay. And then I think what I want to do, yeah, I have to think this one through a tiny bit. I'm going to peel this away. And I'm going to go, hold on, don't get all crazy on me, paper. Don't crinkle. Don't crinkle. Don't crinkle. Well, let's be nice. I'm going to fold this back like that. I'm going to clear. I really need to clean off my desk. Holy cow. I have had too many creative days in a row and not enough time in between or dedication in between to clean. So, I want to make sure I want this somewhat straight. I don't want it to overlap too far. Is that going to be okay? Okay, perfect. And then I'm just going to take the paper like this and as I remove it, I'm going to stick it down and I'm going to hope that I don't get a bunch of, I did. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. We can fix that. Maybe. Maybe not. That was maybe not the best way. Shoot. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do. It is such thin paper. It's almost as thin as the Hobonichi paper. I would say it's thinner. Oh man, it is really sticky too. I don't know quite where it went wrong, but see how it bubbled up the paper, like underneath the paper, it didn't stick right. So there's a lot of air pockets under there. I want to try to fix that, and it may or may not work. This may be a, well, we gave it a good shot, you know, and it just didn't work out the way we wanted it to. And sometimes that's what happens when we're doing new things, right? And that's okay. It's totally okay. It doesn't ruin our journal. It doesn't ruin our planner. It just teaches us one of those lessons that this wasn't the right thing for this paper. And I'm honestly not overly surprised that it didn't work, because this paper is so thin and so flimsy. How are we doing? How are we looking? I feel like we're getting there. Okay, I feel like this is where it started to go. Okay, so let's do this again. We will go slow. We will hold the paper down as we're going. Just take it one little inch at a time, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. I agree, but we don't want to get a bunch of pockets in there. So if we can hold this down, keep this tight as this is going over it, I think it'll work. Closer to the bottom. Smooth it out. Keep it straight and snug. There we go. That's much better. I've still got a couple down here, but I think that's going to be fine. And that is beautiful. Okay, so then when I was talking about doing like vellum paper over it, so I can tell you that on this day, not a whole lot happened in my life. So I'm not going to have a whole lot to journal. I'm not going to have a whole lot to write, but I can put in these stickies. They're actual sticky notes. And I can write on them with my markers, and I can say, what day was that? Thursday. So I'm going to move this because I don't want to write on the actual page. So I'm going to bump this back over to my desk. So I was only able to work half a day because of COVID, so I'm just going to pop this down in there. And it's not something that's really noticeable, but as I'm flipping through in 12 weeks and I totally forget about this page, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember trying to stick that sticker page in there. And you can see that it's folding over, and I think part of that is because I peeled it back and tried again. I think with my planner closed, it will eventually rest itself out, I hope. And then here on the back page, I do have a few little wrinkles that I think I can pressure out. Get out, get out. Not that kind of pressure. I mean, like, put pressure on it. And then set up these 2 days. So that's a couple of ideas for you if you've got some stickers laying around and you've got some extra energy that you need to exude. I'll let you know how the apple butter turns out. I'll even put, maybe that's what I'll do actually it'll be Saturday. This day I'll do like an apple spread. That would be really cute. Yeah. If Wes wasn't on his way back, I would do the apple spread with you guys, but I do need to practice drawing some apples first because I don't know that I've ever drawn an apple. So I hope you have the very best day, and I will see you soon. Remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and remember, I love you. Bye.